Hi there, I'm Construction Gamer and this is the UK Northern Powerhouse on Transport Fever 2. It's going to be episode number 28 in the series, I think. I say I think because it's been a while since I've recorded a video. It's been 2 weeks now or something like that. I decided to break my computer, so it's been out of action for a while, blown motherboard, which has taken a little bit of time to kind of investigate and then source all the parts with what's going on and everything. The delivery times are a little bit longer, so apologies for the break, but I'm back now, hopefully better than ever, he says. Currently we are sat at Manchester Victoria. I've tried to, as best as I could, recreate some of the station. It's not, I wouldn't even say it's close, but I think it's close enough within the limits of the game. So trying to represent the big roof that's on Manchester Victoria, the big PTFE plastic sheeted, plastic pillowed roof that was built a few years ago. You can't really replicate the Manchester Arena, which pretty much sits on top of the station, so I've just gone with some canopies there. I've ditched the Network Southeast platforms for now because I think there was before my computer went offline, there was some issues with permissions and things like that, and there was talk of the mod being taken down. So in this save I've taken all of the stations out. Actually, I think I mentioned that in the last episode, so I'm using the standard NL station modules, I think, and the modern modular roof pack as well, just to try and recreate the concourse of Manchester Victoria. We've got some new tram routes, as far as I can remember, because it has been 2 weeks. 2 weeks is a long time to me, my memory is rubbish. So I've decided Manchester really wasn't growing, and it is the main kind of keystone of the Northern Powerhouse, because it's where most of, well, a lot of the services intersect. So Manchester, we've got a growth factor 370%, which isn't bad, but it's staying relatively static. So what I've done is, because I'm in sandbox mode, I've added Salford Quays, so I could do the tram line out to Media City, and then I've done Droylsden as well. Where are we going? Why are we going over there? Back. Yeah, so we've got Droylsden over here, so I can extend the tram work out. Where was I going to extend that out to? Let's just take a quick look. Can't rightly, maybe, not sure. Not sure. I can't remember. But yeah, I was going to extend that out, but I think those two towns are enough. And now I've lost my map that I was going to be working on. This whole issue started because I bought a stupid cheap cable which decided to, don't know what it's done, but it's basically blown the PCI slot. And luckily it hasn't blown the GPU, which is lucky because they're expensive still. But yeah, I wanted to run two monitors at the same time so I can actually look at maps while I'm building, which makes my life a lot easier, and it makes the actual build quicker, supposedly, theoretically, and yeah, supposed to make it quicker and more accurate. And I can already actually no, that's not too bad, because what we're supposed to be doing in this episode, that's enough of me talking on, is I want to get out towards Skipton and Ilkley. Not gonna get as far as Bradford, the other Bradford station, which is not displayed, but yeah, there's another Bradford something station there, which I don't think we're going to get in this episode, but we're going to start working out towards that sort of direction. So I can see, I'm not sure if it is something wrong with the game, but it's B, isn't it? I've noticed there's been a few performance issues. I've seen a few other people complain about performance issues as well, but some people have been saying there's absolutely no performance issues. So as far as I can see, it does seem a little bit laggy from my perspective. Not running as fast as it was, but yeah, it's livable, especially if we pause the game as well. But yeah, it just seems a bit laggy to me. There hasn't been an update yet. There was an update announcement, but that's not due out yet. So I'm not quite sure what the issue is. Now, the only thing that this map, I'm using the openrailwaymap.org for this. I'm pretty sure I was told that the line out towards Bradford, I want to know what the name of that station is now. Let me have a little bit look. Bradford Foster Square and out to Ilkley, maybe as far as Skipton, is electrified because of the units that operate on it, but I'm not entirely 100% sure. So I think I'll get the line electrified out as far as Ilkley, which is out on its own little branch almost, isn't it? So let's get on and actually build some track, shall we? So this, yeah, I want to change this track a little bit to go off in a slightly different direction, and all the different nodes are at different their positions. So we'll want something. This is going to be straight into Bradford Foster Square, so do something like that. Put that on. We don't have to turn curves on, but we will anyway. And don't need a big tunnel, I don't think. Do I like that? Not really, because these do really go off in quite not dramatic, but they go off in different directions, which it clearly goes off in two different directions. So I want that to be represented, doing the best we can within the scale. So yeah, I'll get that into there, and then that can just run off. Yeah, we'll allow that, I think. I'm not sure what colour the stone should be. Maybe something like that, limestone-ish, possibly sandstone. I'm not sure, but we'll get that in. Just going to chuck that into there, and then eventually that will link up to Foster Square. And then this wants to kind of go off on its own path for a little bit. It doesn't need to be a tunnel, don't think. We just want this to run off like that. God, it is really laggy. I'm not sure. I know I'm running on a brand new motherboard. I've actually got a new graphics card as well, which it was laggy before I had any of these issues, so I'm not entirely sure. But I could probably do with reinstalled Windows 10, because I'm basically running a new computer. Other than the CPU, which is to say this day, I've got a new motherboard, which is different, and I've got a new, well, not new, but second-hand GPU. So I've gone from a 1060, and there's actually nothing wrong with the GPU itself. It does actually work. It was the motherboard that was broken, but I kind of went straight for the GPU was broken, because the computer wasn't posting when I had the GPU in, but it would post when I took the GPU out. So the first thing I thought was it needed a new GPU, and it didn't. It was the motherboard. That wants to run off towards Skipton, doesn't it? So something, maybe a little bit, something like that. So yeah, went straight ahead, bought a new GPU, which I can't afford, and that didn't work, so I've had to buy a new motherboard. But I've actually downgraded from a 1063GB to a 970, and I've tried to check the stats, and they do perform equally, but the 970 has 4GB of RAM, whereas the 1060 that I could afford only had 3GB of RAM, so it's an extra gig of RAM, which is quite a substantial difference. So, but like I said, we're almost running on a brand new, completely different computer now. That's going to be tricky to get to, isn't it? It looks lovely and flat until you see that big mountain over there, or hill. Not sure if it's a mountain, probably, maybe is. How am I going to do this? Now the only thing I don't know, let's just yeah, look, I don't think when I go off you can see me go off, but that is, yeah, there is a junction in there, isn't there? So what we need is, this is going to be Foster Square. We're going to come to here. Ilkley is in completely the wrong place. Do I no, I'm not going to rebuild it. I'm not going to kind of, just because something isn't the right place, I'm going to rebuild. Just because we've got sandbox mode on, I'm going to work within the actual map itself, but it is pretty much in the wrong place if you want the track to be relatively realistic, but we'll work with it, I think. Yeah, we can actually, it's not actually too bad. So yeah, I've got GPU is different, motherboard is different, so the whole computer setup is different. I guess if we go off, that's hideous. Yeah, and it does need to be, it needs to be higher than that actually. So if we do a little bit like that to begin with, and then run off in this sort of direction, I'm going to build a temporary viaduct, and we're going to get rid of some of it because I don't like how much we've got there, and then just do some terrain manipulation. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is I'm not sure if my computer's running at peak performance, or if I'd made the right decision to switch from the 1060 3GB to the 790 4GB. But I mean, it's much of a muchness with regards to performance. They both, according to all the websites I've looked at, they pretty much perform equally. When we're working at this level, I can't afford a top of the range GPU. The performance differences are going to be different. So the only thing I was thinking with regards to performance is the extra 4GB of VRAM is probably a good thing to have for City Skylines, which demands a lot of VRAM. So yeah, we had City Skylines demands a lot of VRAM, so it's a good thing to have. But yeah, time will tell, because the other thing as well, I think the 1060 is worth more money, and I need to recoup some of that cash that I'd spent out on the graphics card and the motherboard and things like that. So that's hideous and slow. Let's see if we can do 40 and try and get back round. So yeah, that is the state of play at the minute. Yeah, we'll go with that. So, and we need to replace this viaduct anyway, don't we, with something a little bit quicker. So yeah, that's the story of the last 2 weeks basically. Haven't been able to do very much. I managed to play Project Hospital quite a lot, because that would run, but I wasn't able to record it because I was thinking I might actually like to record something with Project Hospital, but yeah, it wouldn't let me do that. So basically I couldn't do anything apart from watch telly, do some DIY and go slowly mad. Now, I did want to start thinking about replacing the junctions, but I don't think there's enough space to do what I wanted to do, so we'll go with something that needs to be replaced as well. Actually, what we should do is return to the Manchester-Huddersfield line, which I completely dug up and started again. And if you remember, that episode was a bit of a horror show with regards to the terrain. I've managed to sort that out before the computer blew up. That's not too bad, and I'm going to have to do the same around here. And then, right, so this is the next interesting little bit. Is this a no, this is just a single direction junction. It is so much better having the two screens though. So this actually, what am I doing? So we've got Ilkley over here. I want to try and come down to there. So let's just start from this side. I want to come down. Don't want to tunnel, although that is a bit of a crevice. This is going to have to come right out, which I don't suppose is a bad thing actually. Like so, we're going to have to come out a lot. We're almost coming at it, you know, a horrible 45-degree angle, which isn't ideal, but yeah, needs must. Because what I need to do is, I've got this trumpet thing here, I need to put another junction in. I think I'm going to have to put, I know it isn't on in real life, it's right, actually that's going to have to be terrain. That makes things a little bit easier for the junction. But yeah, just immediately after we're going to have to start going out towards there. Let's, I think we do a little bit better than 40. Let's 45's not too bad. And then we'll just take a quick look at these two junctions. What are they looking at? That's not actually too bad. That's, as long as we don't have any of the ballast going over the top of the rail, which we get, then it's not actually too bad. And that actually, let's just put that straight. I think I'm going to actually go with that. That's not too bad. And that can come off to there. That, yeah, that can go off to there, and then that can go off to Ilkley like that, and then this wants to come off like so. Let's just take a look at that. That looks acceptable, I think. It's going down a little bit too much, and it's quite quick as well, so that's not too bad. And we'll get that into there, and then this is just a case of a straight line over towards, what was it, Appley Bridge, would be something like that. Too much slope. Oh wait, I did, no, in like that. Let's just, ooh, that's pretty hideous. We can do better than that. So we'll come out from there like that. That track's going up for no reason anyway, but that is, what's that? That's not too bad. And then something like that, and then hopefully that will just join up, because it shouldn't be that too much difference in the height, which is not perfect. And then we'll get some signalling going on here. Now, whilst the computer's been out of action, a lot of new mods have been released as well. So we've got the Mark V Transpennine Express carriage. They need to be one way, don't they? So the Mark V carriages got released by CW315, so I've got to take a look at them. Not sure if I'm going to get a chance to do a mod showcase. I'd like to, there might be enough time. But yeah, I've got the Mark V TPE CAF carriages, and to go up with the 68, so we can put those in. I think they go to that particular consist goes Liverpool Scarborough, so yeah, I would like to. I mean, we're only in 2002, so we've still got another 6 years or 7 years before we get those anyway. But I would like to start moving on time now, because there really are some quite nice mods to use. That's hideous. Well, I thought that looked alright. Let's do that again. We've got the Mark III DVTs as well, driving van trailers. I'm not sure what we're going to use them for. I do know we're going to need at least one consist for the Transport for Wales rail Holyhead Cardiff consist train, which is 67 hull rake Mark III. Are they Mark IIIs? Possibly. I know the new ones, which are still kind of being tested, are Mark IVs. They've come from the East Coast Main Line. They've been cascaded, but I don't think the Mark IV with the Mark IV DVT, or it might be, I don't know. Yeah, it will be a Mark IV DVT, won't it? I don't think they are cleared for Holyhead Cardiff yet. I think there's some gauge issues, so yeah, I'm not. Actually, we can straight away. ignore me. What do I do? I could build a Mark III consist with the Mark III DVT for now and put that on the Holyhead. What would be the Holyhead Cardiff service, but on this obviously it's going to be Flint to Shrewsbury route. But what am I thinking? Yeah, eventually. What, 2020? Yeah, so I guess I could use the Mark IIIs for now. I would like to at least have a little look at those. No, that's the wrong tool. So yeah, I'll put a Mark III consist with a Mark III DVT together once we finally get the line down to from. I think we need to build a line from Chester to Wrexham and then on to Shrewsbury. So yeah, I think I'll do a Mark III DVT consist, and then once we get to around 2020, I will upgrade that to the Mark IVs from the East Coast. I don't think they've actually been changed deliveries on them, other than the 67, which has kind of a bit of a red flick and it is white. I think the actual Mark IVs have just kept the East Coast colours because they're pretty similar in white and red. You can't really go far wrong. So yeah, we'll chuck a bit of that together, but later on. So yeah, right, we've got that into boards there. We need this line to join up, and then we need another station, which is going to be tricky. I think this is going to have to be moved over a little bit. I need to double check the electrification because we do have we got a depot? No. Is there a depot anywhere? There's got to be. There's one here. No, we don't want to demolish it. Let's take a look. It is. What am I looking for? Electrical multiple units. 221. Is it 221? 223? No, 222. 322 in Northern colours. They got that purple colour. I'm pretty sure somebody told me they operate up towards Bradford and Ilkley, so yeah, I will double check that anyway, just so I've got it right. But I'm just going to, before I wrap this up, I think I just want to get this track sort of pointed in the sort of right direction. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to have the station. It's going to be tricky to get it in. It's not going to be a particularly long station, so that's not really the issue. I just need to get. So we'll put that on there on the flat. That's good. Can I get a little station in before we start? Yeah, that's fine. And we want a couple of switches in here. Trying to phase out diamond crossings now because they're not particularly realistic anymore. And then from about there we want something that runs off in that direction. I think it wants to stay on the flat. It's going to need to have land, and then hopefully this should be nice and flat, which it is. That all looks fine, and then this needs to really kind of curve back quite a lot. I think I'd like that to be terrain actually. 60 is not bad. I think we can live with that, and then this should just zip over to there like that. And again, I think I will build a temporary viaduct, winding that over there. Get rid of a little bit of it, so like that and that. And then I'll just have to do some terrain work like so. So yeah, I am a little bit 2 weeks may not sound like a long time, but it feels like forever when you haven't been recording. So maybe a little bit rusty, but hopefully put together a half decent episode. And that needs smoothing, that needs a new station. But before I sign off, I just want to take a look at the Manchester Huddersfield route, which looks a heck of a lot better. this was horrible when I first built it, but now you can see it's all nicely smoothed off. We've got some trees. I've even got some tunnel portals, not this side. I did have. I thought I had. Have I turned that off? I'm pretty sure. I thought I built like a tunnel portal using the retaining walls, but yeah, then that's the wrong one anyway. That's Woodhead. That's why. There we go. We've got nice looking tunnel portal there, and then a couple more here, and you can just see. You could hardly tell the actual devastation that was there before, so it looks a lot better. And obviously Huddersfield's all up and running, ready for new services to operate into there. So we've got a bit done, I think, in this episode. I'm not sure what my timing's been like. I didn't really keep an eye on that, but I just wanted to get that bit in, up to Ilkley, Skipton eventually, and then obviously up towards Settle and Dent, which is the furthest north station that we have. Not quite Carlisle. We didn't quite get that far north with the map, so there we are. We've got quite a lot done in this episode, and it is my first for a while anyway, so there we are. I'm going to leave it there for today. I'll leave you with Leeds approach and say until next time, bye bye.